wait a sec, a little bit. Actually, I guess I quote unquote wait. I'll just like redo what I did, and this part's recording, so it's good. So, in here, I want this area like right here. In between these, and this is a little fat. This is what we're gonna be messing with this a bit. Just had this idea for this sort of slope shape here, and there might even be like planters on this, which I'm thinking. I have a sketch. I was gonna take a picture, but it's just like a pain. Hopefully soon I'll learn to like be able to switch to my camera real quick. But anyway, that's what we're messing with. It's gonna be a simple asset, so hopefully move on to some other stuff I have on my sketch here. Maybe some plant stuff. Plants are like way more painting than like modeling. Not sure what. But I'm kind of stuck on what I want to do exactly. If I want it fat over here, look over here, that's lined up more. If I want it like, I had a thinner version too that I liked. I don't need these. These are just previous assets. It's like what I had going. Some of this. And it's just, like, it looks cool. I love the shape, but it, just too similar. Like, it's the same width as these ones. And maybe I could just do it, like, one more unit wider instead of two. We'll see. But again, while some peeps show up, hopefully. Again, I know I stream like in the middle of the day. We'll try and... I need to find a good weekend one, probably a Sunday. Just this last Sunday, I had a Christmas party to go to, so... That might be the case again this weekend. My family's going to be real busy. They're all going to Albania, except me. So my sister's in the Peace Corps in Albania, and we have an Albanian housemate, a student. He's like 21 actually. And anyway, he's staying with us. So it's almost like a student exchange, but it was not like an official exchange. His family was like taking care of my sister over there, and then she got him, you know, set up to study in the U.S. So anyway, real quick, I'm going to redo what I did. So, new Blender file. Put everything along the axes how I want it. I think it's one thick. Dude, in like Blender, when I do snap stuff, it doesn't always stay perfectly on the snaps. I don't know if that's a recent thing. And we're about 15 high. We'll just type it in. 15 on the Z, baby. 4 wide. So first thing I did, so we got it about this thick. Just probably a little bit thinner, but we'll fix it later. Control R, and then press 2 to do 2 loop cuts. So we got that in there. I'm going to face select. Grab these, extrude, Control Shift to snap, like a smoother snap, like lower fidelity snapping. I did that. I did another Control R. And then drag it down, it's about here. And then face select again. Top view, press 7 to go to top view on the number pad. When I do these, I guess I never mentioned that. Like, you have 1 is front view, 7 is top view, 3 is side view. This is all on the number pad. And you do control and you get the opposite. So other side, bottom, back. And let's see, did I press E yet? No, I didn't. So extrude again, Control Shift, bring it out a little bit farther. And then I go to vert select, and I go to press Z to go to clear mode. Control left click and drag to do lasso select, and then I drag these down. So this isn't the exact shape. The shape I have now is good. I just want to show how I did it. That's about it. And then I started messing with the widths and stuff. So no, I don't need to save. And we're back in here. Welcome to chat room. So nobody's showing up yet. It's alright. I am streaming, right? Yeah. Whoops. So now, a couple things. Coming to the top here, where it's going to repeat. This is real boring. Lessons we've learned from the last piece. Oh, I didn't even show that off too well. I mean, kind of did with the initial stream, but So it's looking nicer. Still could use some stuff, but I'm ready to move on. And if I hate it down the line, then I'll go in and improve it. One of the big lessons was just keeping in mind, like if I go above like 5 or so units in height, it's actually pretty huge, and so I should increase the fidelity of the model itself, like have more verts basically, and just give us a better look. Another one is a lot of this. If I want to keep the texture down, size down, I want to reuse texture space, and there's a lot of places I could have reused texture space. This middle part could have been mirrored. This part right here could have been the same. Oh, I hope my mouse is showing up. Maybe if I do this, like this part right here on both sides could have been the same. And then, you know, all these windows are, but then like these posts, like how far those could have been shared. There's a lot of stuff we could have done, and then the fidelity would have been nicer. Anyway, let's get to this new asset. So, pretty excited. I really like this silhouette right here. We're going through, and we have this level here, and I'm thinking like some plants. Really big on plants. I didn't do it much in Aces Wild, but I really do love them. So I'm hoping to get some dope stuff going on with that. So yeah, I'm thinking, and we're not, maybe you don't even have to make it like strictly a planter, but in my sketches I had this shape, and I had some plants coming off, and it just looks really dope. So we're probably also going to split it up. I'm probably going to make this a single asset, and then I'm going to make one that's just this like trim thing, so I can put it other places because it's just a strong, useful shape. Yeah, so let me know if the levels are weird too, because I did mess with them. No, that's really important. We got anybody? We got a couple people. Thanks for joining me. It's probably going to be pretty consistent who that is when I do it in the morning. I only work a few times a week at my day job. Just Tuesday, Thursdays, so every other day. But I still like working in the mornings. I used to be more of a night person. Like, and my mom was really cool about it. It's one of my fondest memories, is just like being up really late, and as long as I was drawing, I was like making me tear up a little bit. As long as I was drawing, like my mom would let me stay up. And just love my mom a whole bunch. So anyway, so I used to be like really, you know, a night artist, and I hated it, like because you know I got school in the morning or whatever. But I just can't stop drawing. It's really energizing. But now it changed. I can't draw very much in the evening. Sometimes I can. Well, and I should say develop in the evening, because I often do get inspired to like draw in the evening a lot of times. I wish I wouldn't, because if I did that stuff like in the morning, it would look way nicer. But anyway, let's get to it. So, I guess we'll just take it step by step. First thing I don't like is up here. So do Control R, and actually let's mirror this right away. Let's do that first. So what we're going to do, Control R, we're going to go down the middle here. Press Z. There's a setting, so like when it's opaque, and let's say you do a box select, like it only grabs what's visible. So that can be helpful sometimes, but and there's a setting, and it's like one of these buttons down here, maybe it's just this one. Yeah, visible, okay. Some people hate that. I like it. I like being able to, you know, switch between being able to select everything and being able to crop it based on the view. It can be handy. Anyway, just something to keep in mind. Grab that. Transparent. X to delete, and then choose vertices. Then we're going to go down here. Change this to properties. Click the wrench for modifiers. I think that's what that means. Yeah, object modifiers. And then add modifier. And then mirror. We're going to, whoops, scroll down on that again. We're going to turn clipping on. So that means it will stop things from going over the axes that you pick. And we're just going to leave it on X. You can do like Y and Z to, you know, mirror every direction, but leave it that way. I used to turn this on so it's like you can select from the other side, but I kind of like leaving it off nowadays. You might like it, but and the eyeball can just turn it on and off just for, you know, information's sake. A little bit of cough there. Yeah. Dry Wyoming weather. It's dry year round, but in the winter it's like super bad. Anyway. So now we have this mirrored. And, you know. And you can see the clipping. I'm glad I did that actually. Because it'll keep those center ones, you know, clipped to that position. It can kind of mess you up. Like if you scale in the X, like you'll get weird results. You'll think it should pull all the way out. But to get around that, you can turn off clipping and then slide things back into place. Or you can do, you know, 3D cursor. And then you can get the typical scale behavior. You know, the pivot point, the 3D cursor. We're going to keep median for now. So, got this. We're all mirrored out. I was thinking about deleting some faces so it's a little clear. X, choose faces. This is a jam right here. This song's so sweet. We're listening to Gimmick or Mr. Gimmick OST, and there's this uploader that does these like stereo versions. Sometimes I like them, and sometimes I don't. I really like the stereo version of this soundtrack. It just sounds really good. I don't know how he does it exactly. It just like doubles up the audio somehow. I don't know. Anyway, let's get a loop up here. Control R, drag it up. Drag that back down. Just kind of like, should I make it go across? We'll try the first thought I had. So it's this. Press E to extrude, or grab that face and extruded it. And then we grab these points, pull it along the Y-axis. So now we have this sort of like bevel situation. And that almost like even looks more like a planter. So maybe it's just like destiny. So we hit it up in the scene. I don't, well, okay, I like it a little bit better now. Yeah, that's pretty neat. It's a nice look. And you know, it'll look good down here. Let's check it unlit too. It's gonna be kind of hard to see. Currently unlit because it's has no texture, and it's not fully unlit. But what I really meant to say by unlit is unobscured. So there we go. Let's actually make a few more lights. Control D, Control D. So yeah, that's kind of neat. I do want to try it just like one wider. So what we're going to do, we're only going to go half a unit. So what I'm going to do, I'm press G to grab, and then I press X, it only goes in the X direction. Then I'm going to hold Control, that'll give you big snaps. And do Shift, and I'll do one, Control and Shift, and it'll give you one less. And so we want 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is half of 1, you know, 0.5 basically. You know, not essentially, but exactly. So it's a little bit wider. And I'm like running into this situation where I don't want to repeat this asset too much. But it's going to be similar. See, that looks dope. I love how that repeat there. Yeah, I'm happy with this. It's real simple and it's looking real good. But what to do it down the middle? So that's where I don't want to like repeat it. Should it just be... I'm feeling those vertical lines again, but I don't want it to be too similar. But it's my first thought, so we're going to go with it. So we're going to make a loop cut there. I'm going to grab this. Top view, E to extrude it out. And we're going to have another vertical line there. Control S to save it. Pop back into Unity. And I don't like that, which is good. But I did want to try it a lot thinner too, so let's do... It's going to be... Got to remember that we're like doubling it up. Do I have the... Should be off. What is your day job? I work at a YMCA. Just work at the front desk. It's a really fun place to work. I have a bunch of lady bosses. It's a really liberal place. It's big on families, so we have a lot of low-income families and a lot of seniors. Unfortunately, I see people die a lot. I mean, I don't witness it, but it's, you know, I was talking with my friend last night. Sorry, like the audio sounds weird, like it's like playing it twice. And I've left my video open before, so I'm gonna pause this real quick. Okay, good. It's just this track, and I'm not used to hearing it in the headphones. Anyway, just, you know, just see people die a lot. So that thin one looks pretty cool. It's not the exact look I want. But yeah, I just work at the front desk, basically do a lot of different stuff. Mostly sign people up for memberships and check them in, and take a bunch of phone calls. And just handle any other little fires that happen. I work in the mornings now, which is great. When I worked in the evenings on the weekends, it was like, those are the disaster times because you have way more kids and just people who aren't members. I know it's like mean to say, but they're not as respectful. So like one of the last Sundays I worked, like this dude like came up to me and he was like yelling because he was just like grinding. Like him and his wife were just like grinding in the hot tub, and they were asked to stop. They weren't even like kicked out. And so he came running to the front desk to like yell at me how he couldn't believe he was treated this way. I'm like, sorry, dude. Like, there's nothing wrong with what you did. It's just the context isn't nice, you know. Anyway, a lot of that kind of thing. Sorry, I'm not caught up in telling the story here. I'm just trying to decide what to do, whether I like this vertical line or not. I'm actually going to get rid of it for now because it's easy to add. But I don't want to muddy like the other ideas here because I want to try and pull out this trim instead. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna delete all these faces. And then we're gonna grab all of these, extrude it, go across. It's gonna clip for us, which is nice. It's like, do I even need that now? Oh, did I not delete enough? Or maybe this was already there and maybe I just didn't delete enough. Yeah. Alright, now we'll delete this face. These faces. And really what I should do is like, well, this is good enough. This isn't ideal, these aren't going to be lined up perfectly. Well, they'll be lined up, but they're not all... there's like extra vertices, so now we're going to do select all, which is A, control, no, not control N. I don't know what the command is, so type in remove doubles. And so those extra vertices I had, you might not even know what I'm talking about, but they're gone now, which is good. So anyway, I have a bit of a trim there. Go back in there, and that's looking pretty cool. I don't like how it's like perfectly lined up there. You know, it's lined up with, well, here it looks good. It's kind of weird. It's looking neat. Decisions. Alright, let's set it up in Unity again. But yeah, I'm like super thankful for the YMCA. It's hard to find part-time jobs. That might seem strange, but people always want full-time around here. And I worked full-time for a long time, or like in between full and part-time. It felt like full-time at this last job, or before the Y. Anyway, just really thankful for that place. They just gave me all the hours that I wanted, when I wanted them, and it's just a cool place to work too. But it's just, I wouldn't have been able to finish Aces Wild as fast. And then now that I have, you know, money coming in from Aces Wild, and the, you know, initial lump sum from just the initial sales, I can live more comfortably. I'm only working, you know, twice a week, excuse me. Sorry, I'm just looking still. I need to hit the bottom with some trim. I don't know how nuts to make that. And also, in this case, like here we just repeated it and it looks nice. but I'm gonna want it to be a little bit different on the base, and then the repeated like going up. So we're gonna have to think about that. And what I mean is, as I stack them up, the ones above the ground will have a little bit different base than the ones on the ground. I'm gonna pull it up once more just to get a real good look. Control D, Control drag. It's a neat shape it's making. We're gonna look at it in the game. Yeah, that's nice. You can see in here, it's overlapping like this other piece, and like it almost looks better. So we'll have to keep that in mind. And that's why I kind of want to make it pretty modular. I can try some different things. But usually in the end, there's like one best thing, and you should stick to it. I used to like, do you know what I'm saying here? So like the original asset over here, run. Ugh, can't run fast enough. Of this one we did a few days ago, you know, has these hexagonal shapes over here. And they're being covered back where we were before. And I guess I should just pull it out. But the new shape we're creating here with this new asset and the old one just looks really nice. So we have two options, and what I'm saying is I used to be big on like allowing all those options, you know, while I'm creating levels, but almost 100% of the time you end up doing the one that you just like more, or looks better, or is easier to create, and so you just find out what that is and then just make that the... And really just covering it up like this, I mean, we don't get like good occlusion values between the two, but you know, there's no Z fighting, so as long as there's no Z fighting, it's good to just stack stuff up together in 3D a lot of times, unless it looks really bad. Like right here, it's not looking too hot. I'm gonna need to create some sort of base for these, you know, some trim on the ground. So that's looking better. Let's hit the bottom, like I said. How goes it, kicks? It go good. You have released a game. Yeah, sorry, I assume a lot of people who hear about this stream know. I have a game on Steam. It's called Aces Wild. It's like a mix between like bullet hell shooters and beat 'em ups. It's like 2D God Hand or 2D Bayonetta. Just fight a bunch of ninjas, and it's really fun. Yeah, Aces Wild Manic Brawling Action on Steam, or my website. You can get it on Steam. So yeah, that's looking nice. I like that. It's real simple, and that's always good. But I don't want to fall in the trap of having it be too plain, like in the middle here, because I've been doing that a lot. Here it worked out okay. I wanted this one, these ones that hold the arches. A, I just wanted to be plain in general, because it's going to be like a thin trim. B, it's going to have these arches above it, so it's not a big deal. But in here, let's not shy away from vertices, basically. Let's go ahead and go nuts. Whoops. What did you do to me? I'm going to get a weird cut here, because I have this bevel. Bevel's not the right word, but you know what I'm saying. So you're going to do Control R, left click. I should go through that. So Control R will bring up this violet thing. At this stage, you're picking where it's going to cut and how many cuts. You know, you can press 2 and it'll increase it. If you do 2 and then 3, you're getting 23. Sometimes people get confused, like you've changed it, but so anyway, Control R, click here. Once you do one left click, if you right click it, stops it. If you do one left click, you can slide it, do an edge slide here. Let's say you bring it down here, and you want it there, you left click. If you don't want it there, you right click. It won't go back, but it'll put it centered again. We don't really care, because we're going to do scale, Z, 0, smash them all together. and then drag it down here because we want it lined up. Looks weird. And we're gonna grab all his faces again. We're gonna do extrude, and then Alt S to grow, or shrink is what it's called. This doesn't look great. I think I'm gonna cheat again like I did before, where I don't have it actually build into the mesh and I just have it clip over it. But we'll see how that looks. To see if we even like it. Down here it looks pretty cool. Up there it looks not bad. It's kind of giving us too much bulk. So it's almost like another reason to make it just clip through instead of like be a part of the mesh. So undo all that. And we're just going to feel around with some more shapes. Maybe we'll cut into the middle. 2, scale Z to pull them together. Sorry, that song's so good. Same thing. Grab these. E, and then right click. So we've extruded, but we didn't do anything with it. Alt S to shrink. And grow. It's a little bit too repetitive. It looks nice. It's almost like we only want it on the pillars. Let's try that. Extrude, Alt S. It's a little just aggressive, you know what I'm saying? There's some aggressive shapes. I'll try and pull these in a bit. Excuse me? I didn't want that. I want this. I feel like that's going to be pretty aggressive still. Not so bad. I'm not sure it's helping us much. It's just that simple vertical shape's what we want. I'm gonna grab a look in the scene here. Is it soundtrack ending? Yeah, let's go back to that Etrian one. This is someone's Let's Play of it. We're doing some Tinge and Nurdles again. I had that Etrian one pulled up. Where'd it go? See my embarrassing playlist. Northern Lion looks at Aces Wild. Greatest day of my life. Free ads for Armin van Buuren. Dude, this ad cracks me up. 5 times #1 DJ in the world. 5 times. Let's pull back to the beginning here. This is an Etrian Odyssey medley. It's pretty dope. So yeah, those are... Parts I like and parts I don't like. Whoops. Lost my place here. Undo all that. Soundtrack's kind of intense. I might go to one of the Ninja Turtle soundtracks. I love this series though. I'm so pumped for Etrian Odyssey 5. They announced it a year ago and it's just still a teaser site. I know they don't owe me anything, but it's pissing me off. Just want new Etrian info. So I'm thinking we're gonna cheat. So what we're gonna do, front view. Thinking of doing some trim just like up here. So I'm gonna do Shift Add. Cube. I'm going to undo that because I have it in the center here. The reason I'm undoing it is because if I do Shift Add Cube, and I have the clipping on, it's going to give us a weird thing. So I'm going to click over here, Shift Add Cube, grab it in here, scale it in. Scale Y. Excuse me. So again, I'm repeating that from what our other excuse me, repeating from, I cannot find my words. I'm repeating the sort of motif that we had on our other asset, where it's like we have these rectangle shapes. On here, Shift D. Whoops, I was looking at the wrong. No, not undo. Can't believe I did that. So L and L to link select, grab, pull it up. It's the right place. There we go. We're gonna do scale Z. And it's like, that's the problem. And I knew it going in, but it's like, although this might look cool, we'll give it a shot. Let's do this. It's kind of a weird version of this track. This whole medley is pretty good overall, but I don't know about this song, this version of this song. Save that. Go in there. Huh. It's kind of neat. It's really, really repeating a lot of the sort of motifs that we have going on. This part of it, though, is good. This is just a great part of the song, but, like, actually, like, over here it's looking pretty dope, though. That's kind of weird, though. I don't know if I'm into that. I like that plain, you know, the top of this sort of trapezoidal piece. I like just a plain square there. So maybe I'll just try pulling it in, which would be good if we can just line it up this way, because then we don't have to cheat. We can have it all part of the same mesh. But this part's going to be weird. If you do the same thing, it'd be funky. This guy feeling himself. It is a really good game. Dang, thank you. Actually, I might just be realizing who you are now. You know, from Twitter. The names don't always add up exactly, but now it's like, oh, I think I know who you are. And thanks for watching. And I hope the tutorials are helping you out. Or at least my process. I don't know if they're full-on tutorials, but... So anyway, we pulled this apart. That is a way different look. Like, surprisingly different. We're gonna pull some lights up here to see better. If y'all haven't listened to the Super Arranged soundtrack for Etrian Odyssey, like, I could recommend those to anybody. They're so cool, like, even if you're not into the games, or... they are dope. And I was thinking about playing them, but they're a little too hype. Sometimes I'm like, I'm almost always in the mood for super hype music, more often than maybe most people. But sometimes it just gets me going too hard, and I like want to just go nuts. And I can work with it. It's just it's a little silly. Huh. So again, this is like a way different look. Again, it's surprising. All these vertical shapes and these rectangles upon rectangles upon rectangles is looking really Art Deco. It's not the exact look I want. Check over here. It's almost catching light the wrong way. It seems like it's lying to me. Song's so sweet. Yeah, I like it. But I need to find something to break this up. Delete vertices. This I like though. And I can just do some trim up in here. That's the problem. It's like I keep going back and forth. Okay, new idea. I just realized. So we're gonna subdivide here twice. W subdivide twice here. Might be better ways to do this, but select those two vertices, hit J, and that's join. And so join is a little bit different than F or fill. It like just connects two vertices, but won't necessarily make a polygon. But if you do it where you have like an n-gon that's more than 3, a polygon is more than 3 or 4, then, you know, because we had a weird polygon here where it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to make just a cube, a quad. So you can use J to like cut into that. Or if you have like a quad, you should try and work in quads, which is 4 points. But let's say you have like, you know, a small quad and it's like at a weird angle, and it's like you want to. Wish I had a better example, but if I joined these, it like, let's say if this was pulled out more. You know, if we join this one, it gives us a different shape than if we join these two. And so that can help you, you know, break them up and just give you the exact shape you want. The J key is what I mean specifically. Anyway, now that we have this, it's going to extrude it in. Maybe this is a better look. Maybe this is exactly what we want. Maybe this is the destiny. Maybe we'll do it down here too. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit too much though. God, I have this weird thing where it's like I want trim right here, but I don't want. But I like how plain it is, but I don't want it boring. Pull that out, re-extrude it just a little bit. So that looks pretty neat. But not super neat. Can I pull you up? Get real nuts? No! Just extrude it. I'm just messing here. I'm trying to figure some stuff out. That's kind of cool. Yeah, you can go in and clean that out. We have some overlapping here, but... And if it doesn't show up in the game, in the end, it doesn't matter too much. It's just not ideal. So yeah, that's not terrible. Because what I like is like the top of that oblique, I don't even know if oblique is the right word, but a trapezoidal piece, and then you know, having it flat right away and then have that trim, and that's just kind of cool. So yeah, that might be it. Because then it still stays bulky, because I want it bulky but I don't want it plain. And cutting in with that trim gives it more variety, but it kind of weakens the shape. Not weak as in worse, but you know, it's more of a delicate shape rather than these big blocky things. But we don't want it too boring again. That same thing going on up top, so I'm gonna grab it. I'm actually pretty pleased. I'm liking where this is headed. It's not perfect yet in my mind, but so I extruded that little piece down. Then we'll go and clean it up. We'll join all these vertices and stuff. Because we have some overlap right now. Like if I grab this, you can see it's like a flap. Just a bunch of wasted vertices and faces. So that maybe a little bit too uniform, but it's looking good. I like that. And I might do it on the bottom too. Thought about no, but maybe yes. Actually, we're going to try something else. Let me take a glance at my sketch here. I had a little bit of, I don't know, it's real sketchy, so it's almost like a lip happening in there. The name on Twitter is the same as on Twitch. Huh. Well, maybe that's why it adds up now. So I'm thinking... trying to think of the best way to do it. Let's do a loop cut in here. It's going to add a ton of birds. So I'm thinking... just extrude this. This is going to look gross at first. This is so not ideal. We'll see. So I'm thinking it's like a bit of a lip right here. Maybe big lip, big lips. Excuse me? Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Or no, I extruded more things here. How could you? That's my own mistake. Pull that in. That's a real strong Gothic look. You see that a lot, but I don't know that that makes sense. Up here, it might look totally dope, though. But for down here, it's like, what are you doing? The reasoning is because that shape you see a lot, it's like, you know, it's roofing, it's creating like awnings and things. Just looks too much like a mailbox. Kind of hate that. So, scrap that idea. So it sounds like Rise of the Sinistrals, Lufia 2. And like if you went and compared it, it might be like totally off base there, but it just takes you back to some Super Nintendo tracks, like late Super Nintendo. I guess a lot of the soundtrack is like that, but or these soundtracks. So let's try that first thing I was gonna do. So divide twice. Hopefully it doesn't look too repetitive, because we're repeating what we did on that trim up here. Select that, J, select that, J, face select, select, side view, extrude it in a little bit. Extrude often will keep you at a like a nice angle, basically. Like it'll lock you in. Pull that up. It's been real windy and we had a crazy blizzard yesterday. I'm hearing noises and I can't tell if it's like ice breaking or what, because I have these headphones in. Or if there's an intruder. That's super thin, I wasn't thinking. Lock select all those. Want it in vertice, select the scale X. But I don't want it to line up too much, I want it to be different. More? Is that weird? That's gross. Maybe it should just be lined up, but I hate that idea. So a little bit thicker than the top there. Scale Z to pull those together. It's looking okay. I almost want to get super nuts and start doing some pointed arches within here. The problem is that I've avoided pointed arches for a lot of the other scenery in here. And once people see that, it's like, yo, Gothic, and like, I don't know, it just might not. We'll see. It's just, anyway, pointed arches are like a Gothic thing. They look really pretty, but see, that's kind of cool. I don't like it up there. I wonder if this is advisable. So I'm going to delete that. So now it goes all the way down. It's kind of a cooler shape, but I don't like it. Not at all. I mean, not at all, but... So we had a success with the trim here, but not this base. I'm trying to think. give a little more variety to that. Interest, rather. Variety as well, but interest is really the word we're looking for here. If I undo to do them all, I don't. You can set more undos, but I feel like I keep doing it and it keeps undoing it. Anyway, delete all those. Actually, I'm gonna delete them. I'm gonna try this. Limited dissolve, I think, works. Yeah, so that'll like deletes them, but like keeps your lines there. Really, I like that idea of having a... I'm gonna be lazy and just loop cut. So I'm gonna go all the way up so it's lined up, and then drag it straight down. So now it's like an even. Well, even in a sense, like you can see this is like thicker, kind of. Anyway, that part's not important. But just extrude straight out here. I know this is like weird, but maybe that's what I want. Maybe I really like that already, because that was kind of what my sketch was like. Just a lip like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe that's what I want. I have tons of extroverts in here we'll have to get rid of. That's fine. Grab this bottom face. Down a bit. Maybe too much. I want it a little bit thicker. Looks pretty neat. Let's check it out up here. Yeah, that's neat. Real subtle. That's kind of what I was looking for, so. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at my sketch. I think in the sketch I need to push it down a little bit lower because I want this to be more in your face, like literally the player's face. So first I'll try just bringing this all down. See if that works, or I might bring it, well, just the front down, and then I'll try to bring it all down. Ruins the angle I had, which is not great. So maybe it's obvious now. It looks kind of neat from the side. It's not bad, but is it perfect? Grab all this jazz. I did it right. Yes, okay. Put it down about 5 clicks. Is this better? It's lower like I want, but the proportions are wrong now. I don't like some of the proportions. Oh, just little things. So maybe up one more. And 2 more. And then bring this down. Huh. I'm of a lot of minds about this right now. It's on its way, but it's not perfect yet. Goodness, excuse me. That's neat. That creates such a neat shape. Like, it's like almost a whole new situation. Like looking at it from the bottom, which is, that's good. Because now it's like maybe I don't even have to make a new base. Actually, I'm going to tweet it out. What up? What up? They're still in here. Assets. Come chill, dudettes. Not TV for especially, yes. Fix. You know what? I like sisters better. That's important. Dudette is like, it's cool. I really wish dude was gender neutral because it's like one of my favorite words. That's maybe the dumbest thing ever uttered by a human. You know that word dude? It's like the best word. Yeah, that's looking good. The middle part is doing absolutely nothing right now, so we're going to have to fix that. Maybe pull that in the middle? That'd be scary. But I'm ready. I'm ready to try it. Ooh, and then we jump into some Etrian 4, I think. Oh, this song's so sweet. We're going to do a cut down the middle here, make a million vertices we're not going to use, but we're going to use a couple of them. Slide all this down. Again, we'll fix this up. Scale along the z-axis so it's square. I want it. Need one up here too. Ugh. When I do a low cut up here, it's going to be drastic. I just don't want to get in a situation again where I have a million fixes I have to do. So we're going to try this, and if we like it, then we'll extrude in. Look at it. Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice. Probably want something in the middle here, but that's pretty neat. Real simple. I'd hope to make it uneven from that top lip, but it isn't. Or those top recesses. But that's looking good. It's almost looking like an interior thing. That's kind of like the whole aesthetic of this game. It's like, it's all like inside and outside kind of at the same time. So a lot of this stuff, you're like, the dungeon itself is sort of like, you know, a similar situation that we're looking at right now. So you're like looking at the outside part of the building, but you're kind of like inside too. Anyway, that's looking pretty baller. I like it, but it is not clean right now, and I have to glance a few times here. Did that tweet go out? Okay, good. And it kind of looks like a doorway too, which was intentional. For when I do it like modular right here, and I'll just grab these trims, or like these outer pieces, and we'll use them by themselves to create like an entryway here. So like, we'll have this like split area here, and you know, some of them will be, you know, totally blocking this, but then others will be like an entryway into you know, the building. Maybe even create some like crazy A columns where we have this whole situation with these buttresses coming off to the other side too, and it'll look dope. And then we'll have some like intermediary pieces like coming around it. Intermediary? Is that a word? Intermediate? Ugh, I made a million new vertices doing that up there. It's real gross. So what I'm going to do is think. I might just have to start merging, which I hate. Those extra faces. It's gross. It's gross. You just have to do it. And I know this part's boring, but it is helpful. So what you do, I should talk about it. Last time I didn't. I just complained the whole time. Looks sweet. So we have this vertice. Basically, extra vertices are vertices that don't add any new, like it's not a change in direction, basically. So like we have this whole face right here. You know, that's not doing anything. We have those verts all up in here and they're not doing anything. Sometimes you might want to keep everything gridded, like do nothing but loop cuts, because it makes unwrapping easier, but it can be really wasteful. But it depends, like if you're working a little more high end and you can get away with having all these extra verts, you know, it can make your assets look nicer in the end. But, you know, I want to add extra verts if they're helping, but if it's just for that, I don't want it. So anyway, right click to select, right click that, W, merge at last. We're going to be doing that a lot. This one we need, creates that shape. This one is a whole weird situation. It's almost like, so I'll delete this edge. You gotta like logic things out. What I do need to do is delete these extra faces. Fill that back in. Hopefully now I can get nuts. Do this. So now I have some weird stuff back here that's not doing anything. There's those. Cleaned up way better than I thought it would. That's good. That's real good. Push these up. You don't know exactly what I'm doing? I guess ask me later. It should be. Is that just an edge? Is there a weird face back here? Yeah, just an edge. I guess it is a face, but it doesn't let me select it. Pull on our verse to make sure it's joined, and it's not. There's no face there. Oh, that's what happened. It was like a huge face. I did that wrong. Forgive me. So yeah, that's giving us weird stuff. Here comes the jam. Oh my god. I did that wrong. It's messing me up now. Here I did it right. I guess I have this extra nonsense going on, which is what I needed down here. But I think I deleted it by accident. I never had it. So what are we gonna do? Subdivide this. So this vert here, I'm gonna pull it down. Join those. It's not letting me. So, oh, that's not what I wanted. What I need to do. Select this line. Subdivide it as well. Whoops. That's what I need to do. I'm not even sure I need to subdivide this one. Alright, so it's connected now. Oh, we got weird stuff going on though. No, it should be fine. I think it's just because this is an N-gon. We just got to do this. Bam! Oh, but I gotta fix this one now. Merge it last. Join it. Alright. You can see we can do this. That made it mad. So what weird things we got going on up here? And to refocus, click on a vertex or set of vertices and press period on the number pad. And, oh man, what did I do? So I'm just going to remove doubles. That didn't do anything. Yeah, this just needs to be pulled down. I think that's it. That's simple. Yeah, grab the wrong vert. Okay. I have a face in here that does nothing. Places. Well, it doesn't do nothing, but it doesn't help us. Merge it last. Just leave that stuff. Let's see. Out here. Merge them, baby. Check the scene, make sure nothing crazy happened to it. Looking good. Excuse me. Fill these up. Oh, got a weird thing here. So this is separate. This is separate. Will this work? Is it the miracle? Looks like it. This is almost like too optimized. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I mean, I've seen like, you know, some high quality assets and they, you know, have these like long triangles and stuff. I just have, and I've said this before, this weird worry because Unity's like no long triangles. So it's like, does it mean like these sort of situations? So should I leave these in here, just keep them quads? Who knows? At the very least, I'll do this. That's neat. It's pretty boring in the middle here, though. And I worry if I should go nuts and add another like shape in the middle there. This song's so sweet. I've been saying that a lot. Just this medley starts to kick into gear and plays all the BA songs. Do we have an error in there? Yeah, we got a goof. Surprised I noticed that. There it is. Just deleted something by accident. Whoops, grabbed the wrong one. What are you doing to me? Alright, hopefully it's cleaned up. Surprised I noticed that, it was really thin. So again, like going down the middle, it's really plain. Should I break that up? Should I make it have like two squares situation? I'll try it. Whew, that's gross. Something else. Grab this edge. Use W, subdivide 2, so we have 2 new verts. Scale Z to bring them together. Basically, I'm just going to extrude it. So it's going to give us a quick check. Fill that face. This isn't the best way to do this. We're just trying it on. Come on, bro. It's not bad. That should be thicker. It's cool looking up at it. I just stand to be thicker. It's about to end. Yeah. thought so. Got some other stuff lined up. I'll just hit up. What? Just gonna click on this while we find another one. I don't love this soundtrack. I'm not sure it's one of my favorites. It's not bad. Where'd they go? This first song's pretty good. Hey, heck, we'll just do this instead. Y'all know SSH? It's like, oh, I just forgot. It's a Japanese name, but I don't know why it's not coming to me what the SSH actually stands for. He does lots of remixes. He does original music now too. He writes cool metal remixes. This one's called like Summer Vacation Game Music Festival. Just awesome. Just, you know, staying at home, playing those RPGs. That looks dope. Just lots of cool shapes. But I think that's pretty good. Like that. Don't want it too uniform though. Like I do want some kind of bass down there. It's looking good. Maybe we'll unwrap it? I don't know. Take another glance. Whoops. Whoops. Here we go. Clean this up. What we do is grab these two. Unfortunately, the subdivide command, when you're in edge select, will still subdivide all of it. So like if I did subdivide, it does these connecting ones too, which is a pain. Anyway, it just means you gotta do W subdivide 2. Select another one, W subdivide 2. Just go to text message. Mom. Mom says, oh my god, sorry, I'm not used to this phone. We're gonna grab those verts. Scale Z. Scale Z. Input transfer. Line them up with all that. Where's it last? Be an extra face in there. There ought to be. Just these. Oh, gosh. Keep doing the wrong things here. Well, no, that should... I wonder if there's a command to do that, because these are... Shouldn't be one face. Oh well, just delete that face. I'm sure there was a series of steps I could have taken to make that actually line up the right way, but... Oh well. See. Well, been invited to a birthday party by my mom's friend. We shall see. So, I'm ready to unwrap this, so I'm just, you know, double checking. I like this enough. It's pretty dope. What I like is this neat effect up here. I mean, there's a lot I like about it. We have this bevel right here, and when we're looking at it from the bottom, it almost gives us a lateral sort of shape, but it's not. It's, you know, perfectly lined up, straight up and down, because of the bevel and the angles you'll see it at, which is nice. It just gives you variety without, like, but it can still say modular because it's, you know, perfectly flush, you know, up and down like this. Anyway. Turn off the other side. I still gotta do that. It's like, I knew there's something not looking right here. And redo those two. Edge select's a really good way to fill in faces too. I used to do it with vertices and it was silly. Okay. Whoops. Move doubles. Control N. Only normals are normal. Should that be a bit thicker? Pretty cool because we want it. I don't know, it felt like it should be thicker, but I don't want to, you know, be as thick as the trim up here. We don't want to repeat those shapes and, you know, proportions too much. Keep the variety and interest up. Normally I would want some like extra bevel like up in here, but it's looking good without it, and I'm happy with that. Still feel like this base down here could use something. Shift add cube, grab a lab a ding dong. Actually, should have. If you don't get a command when you press a command, it's because your icon wasn't in the scene. It's like I was pressing like scale over here and nothing was happening. Anyway, something to remember. And it's like I almost want to try it like just in here. Like one of those. It's almost looking more like a doorway now. It's kind of weird. That's kind of neat, right? Going up and looking at it, it doesn't look as strong, unfortunately. That was my issue. So I might make that a separate thing for just down in here. That's real simple and looks really nice. I love that. Check out the scene. Whoops. I was reaching for a controller that didn't exist. Yeah, that's pretty neat. It does look like doorways now more, like those are steps like up into a door. But that's not terrible. It's okay to have that sort of feeling. I like it. Looks neat. But yeah, looking up at it, that extra edge gets in the way. I need to add momentum to the running, because I hope to have that. Like, that way you can't move around super fast without dashing in combat, but when you're exploring, like, you can get a good pace. I mean, it doesn't look bad from here, but it's not the best. But that looks sweet. Really quite pleased with that, actually. How it joins up there. It's real simple and looks nice. And the way I can make this modular is going to be like... We're going to be able to do some neat stuff. Like we could have like this centerpiece right here, like repeat a few times before like we have this part coming out. That'll be nice. So, Hmm. I wish when you hid stuff in Blender it didn't export, but it doesn't. Like if I just hide it. Because I'd like that data to still be there. But I wish when Unity imported the meshes, though I think the reasoning is because a lot of times when you're making assets, you'll do things where you have a ton of different assets like in one file, and when you're working on it you want to be able to hide it, and you wouldn't be able to do that. Let's merge these, I think. Which away, yeah, doesn't matter too much. That chocobo. Just decide what to do. I don't want to forget about this. It's like such a minor thing. Can make a separate object. Deleting all these other ones up here. First, we will delete that face. I'll delete it and pull this in. What? What is that? Oh. This wasn't pulled all the way back. Try to line it up more, because I'm seriously thinking I almost like it when it's covering it like this more than I like this. Well, we'll see. Whoops, gotta grab those. Ah, there we go. That's neat. Just even just having this. Let's go without the buttresses. And I guess it's not terrible having that piece in there. Looking up at it, it just does look a little bit better. It's unfortunate. It looks better down here. Looking up, and it's such a minor thing. It's literally like 4 vertices, 3 polygons. Just gonna delete it real quick. Look at it in the scene again. It just looks so much nicer when you're looking up at it. Ugh. Down here, it's like, ugh, nothing. If I had to pick one, I'd do it without it. Yeah, I'll just have to add it later. When we make it modular, we'll try and remember to add that in. But if I forget about it and it's like the scene still looks good, then it was worth deleting altogether. So, all right, before we unwrap, I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to stop the stream and grab some food. Actually, I may. Nah. Oh yeah, plus it's miserable out. I was thinking about going on Constitutional, but it's like super nasty out. I do not want to go walk in the snow. I like walking in the snow, I just don't feel like it today. Yeah, get some food. save it. See y'all in a minute. Tweet it back out when I'm getting going. Thanks for joining me. We're going to be unwrapping this and then texturing it. So, and then making it modular too. As long as I don't get caught up texturing it too much. I think we can get it all done today, which is nice. It's a good change of pace getting just one whole thing done today. I would like to finish some of the stuff I have on my little sketch here. Yeah, so